What's going on, shitheads? This is the Brodega podcast. He is Tommy. I am Cole.
What's going on, guys?
Real happy to be back. Give you guys a good show. We're doing a special Veterans Day episode.
Oh, yeah.
Like to think that neither of us are bro vets, but we'll talk about that a little later, what that is. But I figure we do a little themed episode with that and just give you guys some good stories. And additionally, I found a new pet peeve that I want to talk about.
All right. I'm excited to hear about that.
Yeah. Welcome back. I know you're out of town for some work stuff.
Yep. You know how it goes. Every time this is constantly just, hey, you need to go here now.
Sick. Let me get my hotel stuff out.
Yeah, exactly. The one thing I've really learned about being in the military is I am really good at packing.
Yeah.
I can pack in like 30 minutes for a 2-week trip.
Yeah, a 5-day trip. I'm like, too easy.
Yeah. I'll do it the night before. You know what I mean? But I went up to Fort Campbell, Kentucky, and I was like, you know what? I'm gonna stay on post this time because like the class I was going to was on post, and I was like, it'll be easy. It'll be, make it really easy. Dude, either I'm spoiled, and I might be spoiled because I'm not sure if you know this, but I'm a elite gold member with Marriott.
I'm a platinum member of Hilton.
Yeah. Yeah, so it shows you like I didn't know it was a thing because my girl, she used to work in the hotels all the time.
Yeah.
And she's like, that's a big deal, so
It's like special parking and shit.
yeah. So I went to Monterey. Marley. So I went to Monterey and they were like, hey, you're a gold member. I was like, yeah. They were like
No,
that's
nothing.
that's a big fucking deal. Come here.
We have a special guest today, everybody.
Yeah. Yep. So typically Marley would go to Cole's house and play with Wyatt while we did this, but Wyatt's under the weather. So
Yeah.
we had a special guest. Should be watching Happy Feet.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can watch Happy Feet.
Say hello.
Say hello. Hello.
Hello.
Typically, when she's in here, dude, like I'll be playing or something like that, and thanks, dude. So I'll be playing, and then careful, and she'll be behind me or whatever. I'll be on there doing my college work, and she'll just come up behind me like on the mic and just screaming it, dude. Just like just fucking disrespect her so around. So it throws me off guard a lot. Like I'm just sitting here, I'm just like, how do you know about screaming the mic type of thing? But
You need me to get it?
yeah, thanks,
You get your
Dan.
hands full. So I just picked up something quick on the way over here. It's a land shark. It's a
Oh,
nice
yeah.
lager.
Yeah.
I actually ate at a land shark restaurant before.
Did you?
It's exactly what you suspect a
Thanks.
expect, not suspect.
Mhm.
It was a total touristy,
Yeah.
expensive cheeseburger restaurant,
Sounds
but the
right.
land shark was cheap.
Oh yeah.
So to episode 11,
Hell yeah, dude.
Center Middle School.
Yep. Marley. Okay. Hey, go get your headphones.
So we're
But, sorry, I'm sorry
no.
to finish that real quick. So I stay on the On Post hotel, right?
Which-
Turner Guest House, whatever. It's
which for
called.
those of you that know that don't know, sorry, I'm interrupting. Just gotta set the tone. On post hotels are one of two spectrums. Really fucking nice, or like, what the fuck is this?
Yeah, so it was on the fucking scale of what the fuck is this? So, Forrest let me borrow his Xbox and everything like that. So I was like, okay, when I have some downtime, it'd be nice to play some Xbox on this TV and everything like that. And I get on the TV, and either I'm spoiled or it is just that bad. But it was a 720p TV. So if you don't know, it's fucking the resolution was trash.
Like every TV sold is 1080p.
Yeah, it's I don't know the last time I ever heard of a 720p TV. But I'm like, all right, well, I'm trying to play Apex on this thing on 10 megabytes per second, like internet. And I'm like, oh, dude, this is terrible. And then so I'm just trying to play, dude. I'm like, whatever, man, this is so terrible. And then not only that, it's the AC doesn't work that well. Fridge doesn't work that well. And, you know, like I have a special diet, so like I'm trying to like stick to my diet, but nothing I have will stay cold. So I'm trying to like you know, I'm just trying to stick on my diet and everything like that. And then I'm just sitting in this room, just like, oh yeah, one light switch controlled everything. So if you want your lights on with the TV on, you have to have all the lights on with the TV on.
What the fuck, dude? So you can't even like fall asleep with the TV on if
Yeah.
that's your thing.
Exactly.
Yeah, so like that's the thing, and like I know like some people listening like that have stayed on post are like they're always shitty. Like no, like I've stayed in some really nice on post
Yeah.
hotels.
I remember I went to Fort Leonard Wood for this driving course, and I was like, this is a nice fucking hotel.
Yeah, but what ends up happening usually is they're like, okay, so we have these old condemned barracks that we clearly were like, hey, soldiers shouldn't stay here. What should we do with it?
Mm-hmm.
One guy, it's kind of like the meme where there's like three people. One guy's like, we should tear it down.
Yeah.
You know, or hey, we should repurpose it into like a staff building with offices. And then someone's like, let's turn it into a fucking hotel.
Yeah.
And it's like this old cinder block building.
Yep.
And like, you're like, you can definitely tell, you're like, God damn it, dude.
Yeah. And I'm sitting there, and so, you know, like I said, I'm on my diet and everything like that. So I walk in, and they have like free breakfast.
Yeah.
And
I know where this guy, I know what the free breakfast was like.
yeah, you know, free continental breakfast. But I'm in there, and I walk in there. And I'm there for 2 weeks.
Yeah.
Every day, like, you know, they just have you know, they have a very particular. It was like microwave omelet, whatever meat, and like that's about it. You know what I mean? So I was like, okay. So I was like, well, let me see what else they have. I walk in there, and they have like Nutri-Grain bars and everything like that. So I was like, all right. So for 2 weeks for breakfast, I ate nothing but Nutri-Grain bars. To come to find out, they're not even vegan. They're made of oat and like fruit. But I'm like, okay, what the hell? Like, there's some byproduct in there. But I'm like, fuck, dude. So I've been eating 2 weeks of vegetarian without even fucking realizing it. And then the last day I walk in there, right before I take my test and like drive home, I'm like, all right. I walk in there. I'm like, can I get a? Now they finally have bananas, and I was like, okay, I know, like that's a sure thing. And I walk in there, and I'm like, can I get a? And the lady's like, 2 Nutri-Grain bars, and I was like, no. Like, how do you know what I want? And I didn't even realize it because everybody wears masks in there. That it's the same chick that's been serving me for 2 weeks straight. And I was like, "Can I get a Nutri-Grain bar and a banana?" She's like, "Oh, I'm switching it up today."
Got a little spicy today, huh?
It was like my last day, but I was like, damn, I didn't even realize like I'm that like predictable. But so honestly though, she wouldn't remember my order if she knew what I did to the hotel room.
Like every person has a hotel ritual when they go to a hotel room.
Mhm.
I've done it on the upper half of 100 times.
Oh,
The
yeah.
same ritual. Like I'm approaching 100 times.
Yeah. So behind you, Cole, no one can see it on camera right now, but you know I have all my hotel room keys.
Yeah.
And it's constantly growing. It's already pretty extensive already. But pretty much in most states I've been to a hotel in it. And so come here. But on I'll let you tell the story.
Okay, well, I know that you and I have similar
Mm-hmm.
ones because we used to be like roommates, and now we're getting to the point where we're fortunate enough to have our own room, right?
Yeah.
Well, my ritual is usually because I'll be like traveling or what have you.
Mhm.
First thing I do is I gotta Chris in the bathroom and give the toilet PTSD. You know what I mean? Just like from all the like junk food you're eating on like on a flight or something,
Yep.
and you're working all day, and then like if you have your own room, you instantly go straight to beating off. I
Yeah.
don't care what anybody says.
Yep.
And then when you're kind of just bored and everything, you gotta put your balls on everything.
Yeah.
Like you gotta
So-
disrespect the room like
the-
it did something to you.
Yeah. So the biggest thing is like you don't just put your balls on everything. You put your balls on things they don't change.
Yeah.
So like they're never gonna change the curtains.
Alarm clock.
They're never the alarm clock. They're never
The button on the lamp. This is really funny that we're talking about this with a toddler in the room. What's up, YouTube? Um, yeah, listeners are gonna love this. All right. Yeah, like the button on the lamp that you gotta push down.
Yeah.
Balls.
Yeah, the remote. They're never gonna put it.
I quit doing that one because with COVID, they were sanitizing the room and they put the remote in a package.
Yeah.
Like, oh, they're sanitizing them. Everyone at home's like, you're a fucking monster. Who does? And like, here's the thing. I don't just do it like on the curtains at like waist level because no one's touching that low on the curtains. I get up on the chair, like, because you know, like when you grab a curtain, it's usually at like face level. And I get up to like where my face would be and do it.
I usually do it at waist level for me, so I guess I need to up my game.
You got to think about it. When have you ever opened a curtain like this?
Yeah, true.
Yeah, but like,
Oh man.
yeah, that thing, and then I who was it? So when I was in Vegas for a trip, and we were talking about it not that long ago, and someone was like, "Cole, your room was fucking nasty." And what? And like, I'm like, it was like that's just the stuff you can see.
Yeah.
But like, it was just like, you know, you're in Vegas, so there's like empty bourbon bottles laying there.
Mhm.
I'm working out there, so there's like protein powder all over the, because you can never like dump protein powder cleanly. There's protein powder
Yeah, it's
all over
everywhere.
the table and shit.
Yeah.
He's like, this looks like a fucking bachelor pad. I was like, and then he's like, and I was like, you wanna know something even funnier? He's like, yeah. I'm like, yeah, that sofa you're sitting on, it's where I jerk off.
Oh man. So yeah, that's so I was sitting on one of the chairs jerking off, and I was just like, I get done and I'm just like, oh,
Hate yourself.
how many dudes have sat here
Yeah.
and
Done
done
this.
exactly what I
'Cause-
just did.
Because like actually, this should lead us to our first. I was thinking for the Veterans Day episode, we tell people about like shit they may not know about service members, and I
Mhm.
think this might be the first truth. We're fucking nasty, dude.
Yes, yeah.
Like-
Absolutely.
Like if you're staying in a military hotel, every guy that stayed there has sat in that chair and beat off.
Oh yeah. Absolutely. Yeah, it's ridiculous, dude. So last thing about when I was at Kentucky. So Kentucky and Tennessee, you know, they border toward each other, whatever.
Yeah. Marley's back.
You
What's up, dude?
got a story? Oof.
Thank you.
What's in here? What's in your sock? It's like a drug deal. I feel like a cop. You have some chapstick and a Warriors championship ring.
Did you steal that from Steph Curry?
Where'd you get this? You found it?
Yeah.
Can I have some chapstick?
That's what I would say too, to not sound incriminating myself.
Thank you. Go put this in the laundry. Go put it in the laundry.
Later, Marley.
Go get some apple juice. So Kentucky and Tennessee, they border each other and everything. And Lynchburg, Tennessee is like, I think like an hour from Fort Campbell, right? Something
Yep.
like that, maybe 2. And Lynchburg, Tennessee has the distillery for Jack Daniels.
Been there.
Yeah. I've never actually went, which I need to go.
Got a funny story for you about that. When I went,
Go ahead.
I'm sorry. Like, so when you go to the distillery, they put you on a bus
Mm-hmm.
and they drive you to the back. So you walk from the back to the front. So you end at the front. You have to walk across the distillery, right?
Mhm.
While you're on there and he's driving, the guy's like, "Oh, this is where we cut down the lumber,"
Yeah.
and like shit like that. And like when there's a dead spot, he'd be like, "Excuse me, ma'am, where are you from?" Wisconsin.
Mm-hmm.
I'm Becky, and I'm from. Yeah, he gets to me, and I'm like, "You should not have done this." He's like, "Hello," and you're like on an intercom.
Mm-hmm.
He's like, "Sir, where are you from?" I was like, "Hell." He did not find it funny. Please continue. I'm sorry. I just.
I think I'll start doing that.
Where you from, sir? Hell. Like Hell, Michigan? No, hell.
But so I'm at the Classics, and the Classics is just like, you know, people don't know
It's a liquor store.
It's a
for
liquor
military.
store for on post. It's liquor with no tax or anything like that. That's awesome. Everything's cheap. And so I'm there buying a 6-pack, and I'm like, okay. And the first, it's a good line, but it's moving. The first 4 or 5 guys that are in there, they're like, can I buy that 10-year or whatever, the Jack Daniels? I'm like, okay. So the first dude buys it. The first dude actually asks, can I buy all 5 bottles? The lady was like, no, 1 per person. So like my ears perked up like,
The hustler that you are.
I was like, why does this guy want all 5 bottles of this liquor? And I was like, all right. So the next guy goes up, and there was 2 of them. So there was one that had like an orange label on it. I didn't get to read it, and then the 10-year that I got. And he's like, each person's like, yeah, I'll take that one. The other guy's like, I'll take the 10-year. And the other guy's taking this one, and it's like, one dude's in front of me, 2 people are checking out, and the last guy's like trying to choose between the orange labeled one and the 10-year one. And then the guy next to him was like, he's like, hey, buy the 10-year. He's like, no, I'm gonna get this one, the orange labeled one, whatever. I was like, I was like, what's so goddamn special about this Jack Daniels? You know what I mean?
So you went to GTS, didn't you?
What do you mean?
Google that shit.
Yeah. So I got up there. I didn't have enough time to Google it. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So I got up there, and the last thing left was 1 bottle of 10-year. And there was 3 dudes behind me who were like, fuck. Like, so I was like, worst case, we'll drink on the episode. 2, I was like, I mean, fuck, it's liquor or whatever. Like, like, is this having in the house is fun? And I was like, and it's a 10-year, so I know it's a good, it's a good batch or whatever. I was like, so worst case, if it's not worth anything, at least I know I'll still drink it. I'll still get a purpose out of it. And I was in like, Tennessee during the time, so I was like, fuck it, win in Rome type of thing. So I buy it, I walk out, and I instantly GTS that shit, Google that shit.
GTS, baby.
And I put in Jack Daniel's 10-year. And the first thing I saw was limited edition bottle for sale, $500.
God damn.
And I was like, oh shit. So mind you, I bought it for $69. And I remember
Nice.
Yeah. So when I bought it, the first thing I said was like, nice. So I bought it, and then it's on the shelf right there, but I was like, you know what? Maybe I'll hold on to it and see, what I can get for it. But I don't know where to sell it for that amount of money. I don't think I can post it anywhere.
Yeah, you can't really. You're not supposed to like secondhand sell liquor.
Yeah.
Well, it's gonna be hard, but yeah.
Yeah, I know. I looked, and there's like auction sites and stuff like that, but I'm just like, the first 2 sites I saw, it was over $300 for one.
Yeah.
Over $400 the second one. And I saw one for $500. But my thing, I was like, damn, dude, this this $69 bottle of liquor is fucking worth over $400 or $500.
That's quadrupled the price now.
Yeah, so I was like, shit, I'm glad I bought it.
Yeah.
And I was like, worst case, so I can crack it open for a special occasion.
Well, I think we hit our first military truth. Service members, we're gross.
Yeah.
We travel a lot. We have the reason why we're gross. We deal with a lot of bullshit. But we're gross.
Yeah.
That should be number 1. Now, I know this is a Veterans Day episode, but I do want to talk about something that it's funny, like, when there's stuff you don't like. Like, you have pet peeves already, right?
Mm-hmm.
But isn't it funny when you find out something's a pet peeve?
Mm-hmm.
That happened to me this week.
It's like, oh, I don't like that.
I do not like that. So, I already, like, I don't want to sit here and act like, oh, TikTok, like, fuck that. Like, I'm a man. Like, I get it. TikTok's a part of our culture now. It's just something I used to. Now, when I get on social media, you're always seeing TikTok videos, and a lot of them make me laugh. I'm not. I got a problem with more the user and when people look at TikToks. Let me ask you something. When you have TikTok, right?
Yes.
At what volume do you listen to TikTok?
I am very. So that is one of my pet peeves. I am very conscious of my surrounding.
Can I have the bottle opener, please?
Yeah.
So that's what I like about you, Tommy. You're conscious of your surrounding. You don't have it. Oh, I have it. Okay. All right.
I think I know where you're going. So finish. And I think we have the same pet peeve.
Not everybody is. 99% of TikTok users think that they need to watch TikToks on full fucking blast, dude.
Yeah.
And it's a 2-parter. That's part of it, is watching TikToks on full volume.
Yeah.
Because a lot of times it scares the shit out of me, because the moment someone opens TikTok up, it doesn't give you a minute for you to turn down your volume. So it's like I'll be sitting there, I'll be quiet, and then all of a sudden here, I hear you bitches been looking at me. I'm like, God damn, dude, you know, like, right? So that's part of it. But the
Yeah.
other part is I figured out the volume aspect, and then if you mix it in and you're driving and your passenger is watching TikToks, drives me off the fucking wall, dude.
Yeah. So I'm a very courteous person. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
I'm like, you walk into the bathroom, there's a roll of urinals, there's someone behind you. I'm gonna take the farther urinal
Yeah.
because so that person doesn't have to walk as far as I just did. If the volume thing drives me fucking insane. It's like if your phone is this goddamn close to your fucking face, you don't need it at full volume.
No.
And two, if I'm like watching an episode or something, or watching a TV like if I'm watching something like that's not on my phone, and you're over here blaring fucking whatever it
Dude.
is, I'm like,
That's what I'm getting.
dude. I'm like, dude.
I challenge the viewers of this show. Just pay attention when people open up TikTok and see how loud they fucking play TikTok. You're like, that's 100%.
Yeah.
That's at 100%. And it scares the shit out of me a lot. And then on top of that, it's just like it's loud, it's fucking annoying. Half the time it's like shit people's flight by, so I'm just hearing like people like talking, getting cut off.
Mm-hmm.
But the other part of it is like I'm driving. And I no bullshit is how I'm driving. And all of a sudden I hear like you know, that's just my. I'm like, God damn, dude. I'm like, what the fuck? And then it's just annoying because like I'm not sitting here saying like when I'm driving you have to talk to me the whole time or you can't be on your phone.
Yeah.
But like I don't want to hear these stupid ass fucking songs and shit like that or the robotic voice in TikTok
Yeah.
at full volume while I'm trying to fucking. It's just I don't know why, but I was like, I don't like that.
Yeah. But another pet peeve for my dude. We definitely have that very same pet peeve. Like I'm a courteous person.
Yeah.
I'm very conscious of my surroundings. I'm very like you know, there's a line between being like assertive and just being aware of your surroundings. And I think like you don't have to be a dick, but you can also be assertive. You know what I mean?
You have to be cognizant
Yeah.
of your surroundings.
There's just too many people in this world that think that I'm the only person on this fucking in this whole goddamn room that fucking matters.
Well, and we've glorified like fuck what other people think
Mm-hmm.
to an extent, right?
Yeah.
You should definitely like think about what other people think when you're doing normal everyday shit.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And just like don't be an asshole. And I like instantly if I'm sitting in a waiting room or something and I can hear fucking like clearly hear your TikToks, dude, I instantly think you're a prick.
Yeah. You know, I was actually looking at Japan has a like they're the most like courteous people in the world.
I
like
totally would expect that.
so they don't like you listen to music on your headphones and
Yeah.
like there's like noise bleed. Japan doesn't do that. It's rude for you to make someone else listen to what you're listening to.
Right?
So it's like if there's like this one chick, it was on TikTok and she was talking about it, and so the lady wrote in English from Japan with a Google Translator and was like, "I can hear your headphones." Like,
Yeah.
turn that shit down. Like, and I just thought that was pretty cool. Like,
Well,
exactly. Like, stop being so fucking
that should
self-conscious.
that should go to our second part of our Veterans Day episode.
Mm-hmm.
We've been fortunate enough and unfortunate enough a little bit to see other places of the world and how other people experience their lives and their traditions and cultures, right?
Yeah.
One thing I've learned is that whole like stigma about Americans are ignorant and arrogant and fucking loud. The whole world fucking believes that because it's true. Because like like Germany, for instance, well, like it's actually most of the world that I've been to, but like I really notice it in Germany. Is like you will get respect, and you will give it back, or you can go fuck yourself.
Yeah.
And like I walked into an electronics store,
Mm-hmm.
and because I wanted some I long story short, I was gonna be in Germany for a minute. I was not expecting it, so I was like, "Hey, do you have any headphones?" And he's like, "I don't know what the fuck you're saying, dude."
Yeah.
And I was like, "Ah," and I was like, "Headphones?" And he was like, "Oh yeah," he like helped me out, and he was like really helpful. even though we didn't know how to talk.
Yeah.
And after I was like, like I knew how to say thank you.
Mm-hmm.
And he was like, like that's what I'm getting. I was like, and he didn't fucking know me. People are about respect.
Yeah.
In America, it's like, fuck you. You don't know me.
Yeah. So I guess I got another funny story when I was rude to a very, very German person. So, I was in Germany. I don't know. I don't forget what city I was in. I don't know, but it was the one with like that has like all like the maze of like. It's the oldest city in Germany.
Oldest
I don't Trier, I think it was.
Trier. Okay.
Yeah. So I'm
It
there.
does have castles and stuff.
Yeah. So I'm walking around, and we have our cards, whatever that we use, and I didn't pull any cash out. I wasn't expecting to be there long. So any whatever their cash is, I forgot. Euros. So I didn't pull any euros out or whatever, and I'm walking through, and I order a coffee. Like it was like early in the morning. I order a coffee, and the lady was like, "We don't take debit card." She made the coffee and everything.
Yeah.
It was like, "We don't take debit card in English," and I was like, "Well, I don't know what the fuck to tell you because that's all I got." She was like, "So are you gonna pay for this?" And I said, "No." And I was like, "I only have a debit card." And then she was like, "I was like, did you put that up anywhere? Like there was no sign or anything like that." She was like, "We only take cash." And I was like, "Well, that fucking sucks." And I walk out. She was like, "Are you gonna pay for this?" And I said, "No." And she threw the coffee at me,
Dude.
and hit the door. I was like, I don't know what to tell you. Like,
That's a thing. In America, as we know, I've worked at McDonald's. In America, it's okay to disrespect food service employee. That food service employee knew that she'd throw that coffee at you.
Yeah.
Because you're fucking disrespectful and she'd have no repercussions.
Yeah.
All right. I'm telling you, like, fuck, even like Morocco is a very, I've been to Morocco. It is a very, it is a Islamic dominant country.
Yeah.
Prayer. You hear prayer speakers going all day.
Yeah.
All right. And I'm white as driven snow, dude. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And all they want is the moment you show them respect. Oh, they're your best. You're your best fucking friend, dude.
Yeah.
How do you like my country, my friend? Thank you for being respectful and all that. And then again, here are like, fuck you. If you don't like my TikToks, you can move.
Yeah.
And like, that's what I'm getting at is we are very like, it's cool to love yourself, but think about your surroundings.
Yeah. Yeah. Absolutely.
And that's something I've had the benefit of being in the military and is experiencing other cultures.
Yeah.
And I would say even more is values.
Oh yeah.
Every other, and like here in America, we also value respect, but not on the level as the rest of the world.
Yeah, absolutely. It's definitely like I've learned that it's a very older culture type of thing of like respect is like earned. It's not given type of thing.
There's the old adage here. We say you respect the janitor and the CEO.
Yeah.
Every other place in the world, that is a fucking fact.
I agree, yeah. Yeah. Luckily, we've been fortunate enough to go to all these different countries and experience all their...
But yeah, if you're a TikToker, I don't give a fuck if you have TikTok on your phone. Just turn it down or put some headphones in, dog.
Yeah.
But hey, I really want to get into the beef of this episode is Tommy and I have explained that we're veterans. And I really, instead of just doing some, cheesy post, I was kind of thinking, let's tell people shit about the military that they don't know.
Yeah.
Because I remember, like, I came from an area where you didn't see people in the military.
Yeah.
So when you did see someone...
Marley.
So when you did see someone, it was like, oh man, thank you for your service and all that. Little did I know, most of those dudes were like National Guardsmen that were not on duty.
Yeah.
I'm like, fuck those guys, dude. And then, hello, Marley. Yeah.
Come here. Go get your headphones. Go get them.
Go get your headphones. Sorry about that, everyone. Anyway, so, trying to remember. Oh, so like everyone has their thing like, oh, he's got a uniform on, he must be fucking bad. Like people think that like
You must murder people for a living.
yeah, like we're recording this on Sunday. Like I'm gonna wake up on Monday and I'm gonna like grab my gun, like gonna go practice killing people. When in all reality, I'm gonna show up and I'm gonna crack open an energy drink because it's a Monday and I didn't sleep well, and I'm gonna be on my computer all fucking day.
Yeah.
But
You hungry? Go get your cupcake. Go get it. Go get it. You can get it. You can get it.
anyway, so what I want to throw out there as a caveat to anybody listening is there is a term called brovet. And if you
So
don't know,
this is new to me because I don't know what you're talking about.
okay, if you I implore you to Google it, like it's out there. A brovet is a guy that has turned his military service into his personality.
Gotcha.
Okay.
Mhm.
And like Tommy and I kind of adhere to a thing that we didn't create, but like it's called being a quiet professional. Like do what you got to do. Don't fucking let everybody know about it. Like act like you've been there before.
Yeah.
But brovets are like, I served and you're going to fucking know about it.
Thank me for my service.
It's very similar to like, the jokes people make about being a vegan and stuff. Like, they got to tell regardless, I'm not trying to be disrespectful. What I'm saying is like brovets are you're gonna know before they talk to you that they were in the service, and I'm getting there.
Yeah.
And they're also gonna fucking tell you some way, shape, or form. Like brovet. So there's these things called condor hats.
Oh, okay.
And they've got Velcro patch, and now they're like popular just amongst like people that shoot guns and stuff.
Yeah.
But like a brovet is gonna have a fucking condor hat on, and he's either gonna have no patch on, which defeats the purpose of buying one of those hats.
Yeah.
Or have a patch on, and it's usually gonna be a Punisher symbol. And like the next thing is like they're probably, and like I got nothing against these companies because like good for veterans being their own bosses and making money, but they're gonna have a grunt style shirt on, a 9-line apparel shirt on. And it's going to have some shit like stomp my flag, stomp your ass type shit on there. And then they're going to have a piece on them. Like they're going to have a gun on them. And it's going to be, I'm saying this with air quotes, concealed carry. But you're like, that dude definitely has a fucking gun. And then like you're gonna talk to them, and you're like, "Oh yeah, I was thinking about studying abroad in Europe." Like, yeah, I've been to Europe before. When I was deployed to Germany for 9 months, no big deal. Yeah, I was in the service for 3 years, no big deal. 11 Bravo, yeah. And like what I'm getting at is, we are proud of our service and all that, and we're doing this because it's a Veterans Day episode. But by no means are we bragging, and I don't want to take it there. I want to take it to a spot that a lot of people don't do, but shit you don't fucking know we do. like think about it. If you don't really know that many soldiers, just think about right now what you think we do, and I'm about to ruin it. Or we're about to ruin it. But yeah, that's a brovet,
Yeah.
and we are definitely not those dudes.
Yeah. Have you ever cut your own hair?
You're goddamn right. I have. So when we went through, I say this loosely, but like when we went through a process to be in a unit, we had to do some extra stuff. Assessment, right?
Yeah.
And they're like, so the word smoking is not what you think it is, right?
Yeah.
So if a veteran says, I just got I just got my balls smoked off, for instance. What that means is someone in charge of them made them do physical exercise for an extended period amount of time.
Yeah.
And like tomorrow they're going to fucking feel it.
Yeah.
All right. And like when you're going through assessment process, like similar basic training is essentially an assessment, right?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
But like this assessment we were going through, if one person fucks up, the whole group is fucked up.
Mass punishment.
And like more times than not, I'd found that we would get smoked a lot for someone's hair being out of regulations.
Yeah.
And like they're really strict. Like they bring out fucking rulers and stuff. So I said, I'm not gonna be that guy. So I went and bought a $10 pair of clippers and I shaved my head every fucking Sunday. And I was like, come on. They didn't even take the ruler to my head.
Yeah.
So yes, I have cut my hair.
Yeah. So during COVID, I actually learned I cut my own hair because, I was like, I'm not gonna go to Marley.
Those are adults. Thank you.
Go. Hey, look at me. Go eat your cupcake.
Nice.
Cupcake. Here, another beer.
Yep.
cupcake.
You're saying during COVID you were learning how to cut your hair?
Yeah, so I learned how to cut my own hair, and I was like, I'm gonna. But it was more like, cause during COVID, like we weren't at work, so I was like, I don't need to cut my own hair. But it was just the fact that my hair was so just gone, like so out of regs. I was like, I need to cut my hair. Like,
It's embedded in your memory. Yeah. Like you're like something's not right. And you're like, oh, you can feel hair on your ears.
I can feel hair on my ears. And I was like, I can't do it. I can't have it on my ears.
But yeah, that's something that I guess a lot of people don't know. And I'll be honest, we're kind of winging this a little bit. Like we got topics, but like that's something that I forget people don't know what being smoked is. Like getting smoked in the military is like you got in trouble, and instead of getting a write-up or something, you said smoke me. And they're like, okay, do push-ups for 3 hours.
Yeah.
And you're like, all right.
What's up? You want to say something?
Yeah.
Okay, what are you going to say?
Okay. No,
Can you say trampoline?
Choking.
Trampoline?
Choking.
Trampoline?
Thank you, Marley.
Thank you for that contribution.
So like that's one thing is like you ever hear veterans say, "Oh, we got smoked." That's what that means, right?
Yeah.
Another thing that I'll say something that I never expected that I'd be accustomed to, and like I said, I come from rural America, right?
Yeah.
And I'm used to like country boys and all that shit. And I'm used to guys dipping and stuff, but it's usually like it's helping a friend bale hay.
Yeah.
He's like shooting dip spit into a hay field, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
I did not know that in the military I would have to hang around with a bunch of people that spit into a bottle all day, and like I just walk into a room and I'll see 6 Aquafina bottles full of dirty brown dip spit, and I'm like that's not
like,
weird.
For me, come from California, it was never dipping isn't a thing, like at least the Bay Area. Like I've never.
Well, you guys also have like weed that you can smoke. Like I would believe that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like,
so like I never seen anybody actually dip right there.
yeah, and then
I
like
see it, baby.
I just remember sitting in the office first few days when I got my first unit, and I'm like, what the fuck? I'm like the only guy here that doesn't dip.
Yeah.
What the fuck? Like it amazed me how much guys will like waste their day. Like they're like working on something, and they just take a bottle out of their back pocket and unscrew the lid of a water bottle with their thumb, and they're like, and they screw it back on with one finger.
Do you remember Guzman?
Yes.
So he actually in our job we have to work on helicopters and everything, and every 300 hours we reset the helicopters. It's called a phase. And
imagine taking your car and taking everything off and looking for broke shit and put it back on. That's what it is.
Yeah, that's a full phase. And so Guzman was like, there will be no smoke breaks. There will be no dipping on this phase, just because of how much time you guys waste.
Yeah. Like I'll see a guy dip like shoot spit into a bottle 3 times while he screws in a single screw.
Yeah. Hold on. Let me get her set up and I'll be right back.
Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah.
I got you for a few minutes. So
come on.
We appreciate everybody bearing with us. But yeah, anyway, so yeah, that's something I never expected was like tobacco isn't like, oh, like some of you may be like, oh, I'm going to smoke a cigarette because I'm fucking stressed out or something. No. In the Army, and this goes into my next point, tobacco is like breakfast. All right, and like you always see these influencers like, I get up and I scramble 6 egg whites and I drink my plant-based protein and I do this and that. And that's the only way you cannot work out, a poor diet. I have watched on many occasions grown men that I know for a fact are still drunk, run 6 miles, no problem.
Yeah.
And then they show up for breakfast, and their breakfast is a pinch of dip and an energy drink, and maybe like these things called tornadoes, which is like a deep fried tortilla with cheese in it. Yeah. And that's their fucking breakfast. They're like, let's do this, boys.
And I've known dudes like that for like, and they'll do that for years,
Yeah.
and they'll never gain weight.
No.
They'll always be athletic. Like it's insane. And it's like me. Like I look at a tornado and I gain weight,
Yeah.
and like I feel out of breath just walking to go where the tornadoes are.
So I was at a school and
Take another bottle opener.
oh yeah, I was at this school, right? And like we're in class and we're just kind of talking on a break, and like guy like brings out tornadoes, and I'm like, so these are so good, you know what I mean? I was like, no, I don't know what you mean. He's like, what do you mean? I was like, I've never had a tornado.
Yeah.
They're like, how have you not had a tornado? I'm like, just like you said, I'm like, if I eat one of those things, I'll gain 10 fucking pounds.
Yeah.
Like I can't do that.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm telling you, I can't emphasize how many people in the military are like, all I need is a pinch of dip and an energy drink for breakfast.
Yeah. And I'll be good. And I'm
Yeah.
over here eating rice cakes with natural no stir peanut butter, and I'm like, ugh. If I eat over 50 calories, I'm gonna gain some weight. Like,
But yeah, that's something I never realized is one, the poor diet that people have in the military, and they're just like, what's the big deal? 6 miles, that's it.
yeah.
And and the other thing is just the I won't even say tobacco, just dipping in general,
Yeah.
and like how much service members rely on tobacco. It just amazes me.
It's ridiculous, yeah, for sure. I'm glad. I'm glad. Nothing against the guys who do smoke or dip or whatever, but
No, like
that's your thing. We all have our thing.
I dip. Like I'll flat out say it. Like, and I'm not trying to get respect here. When I use tobacco, is usually when I'm deployed, and I'm like, holy fuck.
Yeah.
I'm like, let me get a smoke.
Yeah.
Or like I got dip. I'm like, I need to throw one in. I need to mellow down. But other people are like, they take a pinch out and they throw it in their Aquafina bottle, and they're like, time to put another pinch in. I'm like, no break.
Yeah. Yeah, I just swallow that shit down, dude.
Yeah.
I don't need anything. No, I was kidding.
The other thing I'll say is one thing I didn't know about the military is, and this is kind of a broad spectrum thing, but hear me out, is the blatant disregard for just logical thinking. And I'm sure some people are like, well, I mean, like that is really broad. Like what I'm saying is, like some people are like for instance, when we went to AIT, so you go to basic training.
I got a funny AIT story.
All right. And like you become a soldier, but then you have to go to your training where you learn how to do your job. And for instance, the one I did was 15 weeks long. Like you're there a minute. And this is where I figured this out. Like young in my career, I was like, there are some fucking reckless ass people out here. Like, I don't think I understand how much new shit I bought for at a reduced price, because people are like, woo, I got like Archer, like, woo, money, like, and some dude was like, I don't have any money. Oh my goodness.
Show the camera.
That is a gigantic cupcake.
Show them. Show them.
But
Right there.
for instance, like there, like one guy, he's like, hey, do you want to buy my laptop? And I was like, not really, dude. He's like, well, it's only 2 weeks old. I'm like, well, why are you selling it? Is it broken? And he's like, no. He's like, I literally spent my whole paycheck and I want to be able to go to Taco Bell with my friends. And I'm like, are you fucking kidding me, dude? We have meals provided to us. We have a roof over our head. I'm like, what are you spending your money on?
Yeah.
And I was like, cool. So like, I got a $500 laptop for, I was like, I'll give you $250.
Yep.
And like, he's like, cool. And like, it doesn't, I know you got an AIT story. It doesn't even stop there. Like you'll talk to dudes like, I've been in 10 years. And I'm like, hey man, like what's going on? They're like, oh yeah, well, what's up? They're just like, there's certain shit. They're like, yeah, I'm gonna go buy a car. I'm like, oh yeah, what are you gonna get? He's like, oh, I'm thinking about a Toyota 4Runner. But the guy's saying I can only get a car for 27% interest. I'm like, you shouldn't do that. And you're like, well, yeah, but it's like, I gotta boost my credit somehow. I'm like, you shouldn't do it that way.
Yeah.
And then that goes all the way down to like the brand new private in the Army that's like, I don't know what, but like the first time he goes to a strip club and a girl shows him some attention, he's like, I love you, we should get married.
Yeah.
And it doesn't go well.
Surprise, surprise.
Yeah, like this chick that you just met at 2 a.m. that you pay her for her to like. It's not going well. I didn't know, man.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah, it's like it's just the blatant disregard for just like logical thinking just goes out the window with a lot of people. And I what I think it is, talking to my brother-in-law recently when I was explaining the military to him, was he was like he kind of brought up, he's like, well, now I think about it, like, you have like healthcare provided to you. And he's like, and if you're single, you have your housing provided to you. Like, you don't have an electric bill, you don't have a water bill. Like, literally, your bills are if you induce them. Like, if you buy a car, you buy a cell phone, you buy Wi-Fi. Like,
yeah, that's on you.
yeah, he's like, so it's like, it's funny. Like, these people have no money management skills because everything is fucking provided for them.
Yep. So luckily, like, you know, I wouldn't say luckily, but pretty luckily, but I joined the military late. So I didn't join until I was 23.
Yeah.
So I've already went to college. I've already graduated high school. I've experienced a few things before I joined the military, you know. I had a full-time job, all that stuff. So when I joined the military, like, I walked in kind of like, okay, I definitely don't know anything we're about to learn. So I'm going to be, you know, I don't want to be biased. I'm gonna be accepting of whatever they're going to give me type of thing. I'm like, okay. So walk in there, and then like the first week they're like, you will only eat with a spoon. And I was like, well, that's fucking stupid.
What?
And like, you know, so you have to kind of like, you know, play the game, essentially what they call it. You know, you understand,
Yeah.
like, play the game. But I remember in AIT, they were like, no one can drink energy drinks. And the schedule I was on was kind of swing shift. So like you woke up, did PT, you did whatever, and then, you know, you had like time, but you worked into like the late hours of the night. And I was like, okay, no energy drinks. They're like, yeah, we're not giving anybody energy drinks because one guy died from drinking 5 monsters over a weekend, and they're like in like one city. And I was like, yeah, he should be fucking dead because he's fucking stupid.
And like, that's when you want to raise your hand and go, oh, drill sergeant, that's called social Darwinism.
Let him die. And I was like, so I was like, well, fuck that. I have a dependency on energy, so I need my shit. And so you remember we used to have the Camelbacks?
Yep.
And then you can also have your own separate water thing.
Water source, yeah.
Yeah, water source. I would fill it up with AMP energy drinks in those.
Nice.
And they would never check them because it's a black bottle, you know, whatever. But I remember we had a room inspection, and I had my stash behind that drawer that was like your drawer, you know.
Yeah.
Had all your.
It couldn't be subject to inspection, except for it could be.
Yeah, exactly. Well, I had like 7 amps stacked behind that drawer. And then one of the instructors came in, he like pulled the drawer back, he looked, and he was like, all right. He was like, you know, because
Nice.
they even saw that it was fucking stupid too. And I just thought it was fucking hilarious. But another story I have was about an AIT when the other person who had your last name. Do you remember that?
Yeah. You told the story, yeah.
Did I?
Yeah. Because then you went and told everybody at our job that I was a piece of shit, and then I showed up, and you're like,
I don't think I told it on here though.
yes, you
I
have.
told him
100% you have.
Did I?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, so basically there was a guy that was a piece of shit that had the same last name as me.
Mm-hmm.
And they're like, this guy's showing up. And then Tommy was like, oh, he's a fucking piece of shit. And it makes sense because my first day at work, everybody was a little fucking shady towards me. Like, I mean, I guess I was new, but I was like, God damn. And then Tommy shows up. He's like, oh, that's not the guy.
Yeah.
I'm like, this dude literally has been talking shit about me for weeks and like didn't even like make sure to like see if it was this guy.
Yeah.
And like,
I talked so much shit about
Dude.
the other guy who ended up being
yeah.
And they got there, and then like I could already tell, like, it was just like they do not like you. And I was like, oh, that's not him.
You know what's funny is something that has just been weird about my career is every single friend I've made in the military did not fucking like me when they met me.
We did not like each other when we first started.
No. Well, that's part of it. Like, you fucking told everybody I was a piece of shit.
I just didn't like you either ways.
But like, for instance, a friend of ours, Preston.
Mm-hmm.
So in our AIT, we shared a room, and I didn't really talk to anybody. And mind you, we're sharing. When I mean sharing a room, there were 12 grown men in this room.
Yeah.
All right, there's 12 grown men on bunk beds, And like I was quiet because, long story short, we had one guy. Like it's weird. Like you always got a guy in the military that like wants to be in charge, no matter what, right?
Mhm.
And I just had this thing like when am inserted into a new whatever situation, I will be quieter than usual because I'm reading the room. It's just something that's like built into me.
Yeah.
And Preston was like, dude, I thought you were a fucking piece of shit. And I was like, why? And he's like, he like finally told me, he's like, well, man, to be quite honest, you just like, we were all talking and you never talked. So I just thought you thought that you were better than us. And I had to explain to him because there's like these two guys that like, I'll say it, like these dudes were fucking racist. Like they thought they were the shit. They thought they ran everything. And I was like, no, I didn't like so and so, and I didn't want them to know because what they do is they were kind of sociopathic. Like they wanted to find everybody's weakness and like fucking make sure they're the leader. And I was like, no, I was watching so and so because they're fucking assholes. And he's like, oh, that makes sense.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, like almost every friend I've made in the military is like, I thought you were a prick when you showed up. And it's not even because I was like, hey, what's up, fuckheads? You know, like it's just hilarious.
My thing is like that is one thing I was aware of racism,
Yeah.
but I never really actually saw it until I joined the military.
Yeah.
And I was like, okay. And you know, it's just a few. So don't get that twisted or anybody. Like it isn't the masses. It's definitely the few. And that shit gets stomped out pretty quickly.
And
like
or you get weeded out. Like you're fucking gone.
Yeah. I've definitely seen a lot of guys get weeded out, base it off of their behaviors, how they treat other people because of their race. And I think it's fucking awesome. Do justice.
Yeah.
But I never knew it was like an actual thing. Like, you know, you hear of racism, stuff like that. And like I grew up in, you know, the Bay Area. It's like it was at
Very
one time
diverse area.
one of the most diverse areas in the world. And I was like, in the United States, sorry. And I was like, I get there, I'm like, why do you not like I remember asking, I was like, and he was like, because he's this race. And I was like, okay.
Yeah, dude. Like
I never understood racism. I never understood a person who was racist. And I was just like, just because of their skin color. And like, I mean, you know how I am. You know how my family is, especially how my family is. Like, we got the whole spectrum of the rainbow.
diverse as fuck.
Yeah. So I'm like, I don't understand. Like it, I just don't understand. I didn't understand it. I never really witnessed it.
Well,
until
and
I joined the military.
that's a weird dynamic. As in like, so when you show up to basic training, right? So I have this weird notion, and it's gonna sound like, well, yeah, no shit, asshole, but like, just hear me out. Is like, I have this weird notion about the military where I thought I was gonna show up, and it was gonna be a bunch of guys and girls that were like, fairly physically fit, like really like want to be there and shit. And that was a fucking wake up call. Like what I thought was, I thought everybody was there for the same purpose, and I found out really quick a lot of people did not know what they fucking signed up for.
Yeah.
And like that was the thing. Like I promise you, talk to anybody in the military and you ask them, someone in their basic training class was a fucking racist. There's always like one. And like it just blows my mind. I'm like, dude, you joined the military. We're like
the United States Army. It's not just the white army.
Where they're pooling everybody together and putting a bunch of random people in a group, and you didn't think you were gonna have to work with a black guy?
Yeah.
I'm like, what the fuck were you thinking?
Is that good? It's okay. I'll watch
it. It blew my mind. And then like something that on that point is, can I get the bottle opener back?
You have it.
I do. God, I keep doing that. I even looked at it. I'm sorry.
Hey.
The other thing
No.
is like when I showed up to basic training, right? It's like your first day it's called day 0. So if you ever go to a school in the military, it's never day 1. There's always day 0. And day 0 is just a fucking shit show.
Yeah.
And they just, like I was talking about, they just smoke the shit out of you. It's like that whole scene out of the movies where like all the drill sergeants are in your face and stuff, right?
Shark attack.
And I remember the night before, when we went to bed, I couldn't sleep because I was so anxious. And I was like, I wonder what we're gonna do tomorrow, dude. I was like, and I legitimately remember being like, oh, maybe tomorrow I'll learn how to shoot a gun or something. And I'm like, we wake up, they teach us how to do like PT, physical training, and then we go to breakfast, and it's the whole thing where you got 2 minutes to eat and you have to eat with the spoon.
Yeah.
And then we get smoked, and then I'm like, okay, this time we're gonna learn how to like fight or like shoot guns or some shit. And the very first thing I did as a United States soldier was go to a sexual harassment brief. And like, again, it was something where I was like, yeah, don't rape people, dude. Got it. Like, I was like, and it was a wake up call, as in like, I'm not trying to make light of sexual assault or anything like that. But what I'm getting at is just imagine you're like, I'm in basic training, and you like think about what you think about basic training is like, you're like, oh, they're just teaching people how to kill people. And I'm like, holy fuck, dude, what are we gonna do? You know, and then they're like, hey, you can't rape people. And I'm like, kind of like sitting here going, yeah, I thought that was like common fucking knowledge, dude.
Yeah.
And I didn't know like it's a really big thing is like you don't harass or assault people.
Yeah. I remember sitting through that too, and I was like, yeah. Like, why would I? Like, and it's true. It's just people just don't have that understanding of like what's right and wrong because there's still, if you go as an 18-year-old, like I believe you did.
Yeah, I did.
That. But you were very mature for your age and everything like that. We noticed that like even like when I first met you. But it's just like a lot of things that are like no shit to most people. There are those few who are like,
huh?
What do you mean I can't rape nobody? Like,
wait, you're telling me if she's drunk and she passes out, I shouldn't fuck her?
But she wanted it before, so it's still good, right? I'm like, nah, dude. Like, come on, man.
I will say one thing. I don't want to sound like a hypocrite here, but I remember like think about what you think the military is, and like my first night in base training, like at this point, like I'm going to take a shower, and we're all going to take a shower.
Yeah.
And I thought it was going to be this whole thing of like camaraderie, like just like fuck yeah, let's fucking shoot guns and shit. Like that's what I thought it was going to be. And I didn't read the room. I had to learn how to read the room.
Yeah.
And I walk into the shower area where everybody's in line waiting to take a shower. And I decide I'm going to lighten the room. And I walk up, towel on my shoulder, got my shampoo and my body wash in my hands. I'm naked as the day I was born.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't see people with towels wrapped around their waist, guys in their underwear, guys showering in their underwear.
Yeah.
Because they've never showered in front of anybody.
I noticed that too. So you come, like, we talk about this, you come from sports and you just under, like.
You shower in front of dudes for like 6 years.
Yeah. Who gives a shit?
Yeah.
Everybody's seeing a wiener. And it's like.
Well, and I thought everybody played some form of sport, just ignorance, right?
It's not true.
And I'm walking all confident and shit. And I'm like, everyone's all gloomy. And I get it, because even I was like, like, fuck, I just left home.
Yeah.
And I'm trying to lighten the mood. And I decide I'm going to come in and make a typical varsity sports joke. And I look around, I go, damn. Looks like it's a fucking party in here. And one person out of 50 men laugh. Yeah. And like I felt like the Grinch, like Jim Carrey's the Grinch, like tough crowd. And then and then I was like, well, okay. And I decided I needed to say a second joke, like that maybe it went over their head or something. And I was like, and then I got done showering. And I'm like walking out, and there's more people waiting in line. I said, what a fucking sausage fest. Like obviously same guy laughed. And then like when I went to bed, I was like, I need to become friends with that guy tomorrow. And that turned out being my buddy Richard, who I still work with.
Yeah.
But like I expected 50 people to laugh. And like I didn't see guys that are like scrubbing their underwear with soap. I'm like, dude, you got clothes on still. Like, what the fuck is up?
So I didn't make the same joke of the sausage thing, but I was like, I walked in and I was like, sure, a lot of dudes in here. And same thing, no one fucking laughed. And I was just like, I understand we're sleep deprived right now and everything like that, but it's gonna get worse from here on out.
Yeah.
And we're still in recession, or what was it? Reception.
Yeah, you're just
like,
waiting to go.
Yeah, I was like, we're still in reception and everything. I was like, I know it's sleep deprived, but I guarantee you, if you fucking keep this attitude as we go into the next part, it's gonna fucking suck.
Dude, I know we've been talking a lot about basic training, but that is a weird time in your life where you've met people all over the country that have been brought up differently and stuff. And like that's the other thing. When you get shipped off to the military, you don't just go straight into basic training. You spend like at least a week
Yeah.
getting all your equipment and your uniforms and stuff, and you're just fucking waiting.
How juiced were you when you finally got that uniform?
Dude, I can't tell you how many fucking photos were taken of guys at the position of parade rest. It was just a military position. In their fresh new uniforms, and I was fucking one of them.
Yeah.
Like,
So I didn't have, from the time I went to reception to the time I finished basic training, like the first photo I ever have in my uniform was with my parents at
Yeah.
graduation. And I was just like, I remember getting the fucking ACUs, and I was just like, here it goes to it. What's the fucking 21 Drum Street?
prepare for the life of being badass motherfuckers.
And I got that shit, and then like I was wearing it around. I was like, oh, this shit sucks.
This shit's hot.
Yeah.
Like,
It's so fucking hot in this thing.
yeah. And like, that's the other thing. And mind you, I want to say, like, even though we were saying like we're not bro vets and all that, we're proud of our service.
Yeah.
It's just, there are funny things about it. Like, I'll be honest with you, I don't wear, like, here's something for you. If you ever feel like you want to like support the troops,
Show some titties.
yeah, dude, support the troops, show your boobs, right? But if you're sitting on a restaurant on like a Saturday night,
Yeah.
and you're eating, and some guy walks in his uniform and sits down and eat. I'm not saying all of them, because there's times like you're on duty on a Saturday night.
It happens.
It happens.
Yeah.
But usually what I'm getting at is, if some guy sits down in a military uniform and he's like, the big one is, if they sit down in a restaurant and they order a beer and shit, they are definitely milking that. You're not supposed to drink in uniform. And you're like, I'm going to pay for that fucking guy's meal. I'd say odds are, don't fucking do it. Because they are definitely trying to milk it. And like, that was the thing, is like, you go from basic training, you're like, prepare for the life of being badass motherfuckers. And then 8 years later, you're like, I take my uniform off before I go home. Like,
Yeah. But, you know, that comes with the whole, like, you know, being the quiet professional, like you talked about before. And just, I honestly don't think anybody in my neighborhood currently knows what I do for a living. They just know I disappear for a couple weeks at a time or months at a time. And they're like,
his grass is really long.
Yeah.
Oh, he's back.
yeah. And like, even I have a pastor who lives like adjacent from me. And he's like, you've been gone for a while. And I was like, yeah. And I just walk inside. You know, like, don't expand on it. Don't that.
Yeah.
Like, you've been gone for a while. I was like,
Yep. And like, it was shit like that. And like, mind you, like, I'm saying this is a day built for us and everything.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I'll say I accidentally, this Veterans Day, I accidentally got a discount. I'm not trying to sound self-righteous. Like, go fucking get the discounts. There's some people, they spend all day driving around getting free shit.
Do you remember? And I laugh at this picture every time
Fuck you, dude.
someone in your family.
Fuck you, dude. You know, I sent my mom, she posted that picture again.
She did. That's why I'm bringing it up.
I discreetly, like,
I remember.
I was proud of it. Like, I had learned how to fly, and I sent a selfie of me flying casually, and I just, like, I didn't think anything of it, and everyone in my family was like simultaneously like, I have to put this on social media. And when I got to the hotel room and I saw it, well, I didn't even know. Tommy and our other buddy are fucking roasting my ass, dude. I'm like, what are you guys talking about? And I see like 17 notifications on, so I'm like, fuck, dude. The first thing I do when I get to the hotel, I'm like, what the fuck are you doing, dude? Like, and like, I was like, yeah, God forbid I send you a selfie ever again. And still to this day, on Veterans Day, they use that same fucking photo because I vowed not to send them any more military photos.
It's the same one, dude. And for like, I would say like 6 years I've known you, I had the same photo.
Yeah.
As the one you would call me. And then I finally just changed it.
I love the new photo.
Yeah,
though.
the new
I love
photo
it.
of you in a do-rag.
Yeah, yeah. My wave cap.
Yeah, getting your waves on. But dude, for the longest time, dude, I had that photo and I just thought it was hilarious. And then every time, because it gets posted every Veterans Day.
Oh, yeah.
And every time I see it, I'm like, I just laugh because we gave you shit for like,
A long time.
it was a long
Oh,
time, dude.
Dude, like there's a rule. Like, here's another thing, and it applies to real life too, for the most part. If you join the military, don't let people know what fucking bothers you,
Mm.
and don't, even if it does bother you, don't fucking show emotion, because the moment they see that, they're like, oh, I'm about to ruin this man's whole life.
Yeah.
And like I showed emotion, and I was like, fuck you. I'm just like, and
I think we were
you
in,
guys went in on me, dude.
we're in Arkansas.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think we're unaware to whatever we're going to, but we stopped at the
First Walmart
the first
ever.
Walmart, dude. Yeah, I remember that.
Yep.
That's how much we roasted you, because I remember how much we got to you that day.
I got so drunk that night because but yeah, like I just sent my mom more photos, so she stopped posting that fucking photo.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's just, I'm not. What I'm saying is, like, don't think we're self-righteous. Like for instance, I stumbled upon, I was getting my hair cut, and she was like, "Oh, it's free for you today." I was like, "Oh fuck."
Yeah.
So what I did was I expected to pay for the haircut.
Yeah.
I just gave her like a $15 tip. I was like, "Fuck it."
Yeah, I do that too. Whenever there's a military discount or anything
Yeah.
like that, like I definitely do.
I don't ask for it.
I still pay the full amount I would have paid. I'll typically just pay the tip with extra.
The only time I use a military discount is when I go to Home Depot and I spend $100.
Yes.
That's
yeah,
$10.
Yeah. Home Depot and Lowe's. I definitely put that.
That helps.
I'm spending a lot of money here today. I need this.
But if I go to like Moe's, I'm not like, do you have a military discount? And I get 30 cents off my meal. I'm like, thank God, dude. I wouldn't be able to eat without this 30 cents.
Yeah. The biggest thing, dude, like if anybody's listening to military, they probably agree with this. A lot of our viewers are pretty much typically military and everything like that. But anybody who's trying to listen, it's just the biggest thing. Like it's it's really courageous what you're doing to join the military and everything like that. Even like first responders and everything like that. Sometimes it's a very thankless job.
100%.
Sometimes it is a very thankful job. Depend like like how we went to Afghanistan like that. Everybody's like support troops and all that. And it was like a big thing. But ultimately, when it comes down to it, is like just be good at what you do.
Yeah.
And just don't there really should be no hero aspect in what you do, because ultimately when it comes down to it, you signed up for this.
Yep.
Typically, like it's something that you're aware of, and it does have a lot of valor behind it, a lot of history and stuff like that. It's great to to embrace that history that the military provides and everything that the military is, and it's a very courageous job to join it, and your family's gonna worry about you and everything like that. But when it comes down to it, is just be good at what you do and worry about the people like to you left and right.
And I think the word that I would say about it is like, we're proud of it, is we handle the uniform with grace.
Yes, absolutely.
All right. And that's what I'm getting, is like, you should never go, I'm in the military, thank me. It should be more like the occasional time, like I'm out getting lunch with somebody and I'm in a uniform and someone buys, like, that's a little different. I know what I said about, like, if someone's out on a Saturday night drinking beer and shit, they're the one. But if somebody's like at fucking Moe's or something in a uniform, okay. And the occasional time someone's paid for my meal and I'm like, you don't have to do that. And they're like, no, I'm going to do it. That's why I never have deployment patches. So in the Army, you have like
your unit patch.
You have a unit patch on your left arm, and if you've ever deployed, you have a patch on your right arm. I never have deployment. Like someone would be like, why don't you have a deployment patch? Because I gave to someone that paid for my fucking meal.
Yeah.
I'm not like...
I did that to a kid who paid for something of mine.
Yeah.
And the kid lost... his grandma paid for it, but the kid lost his mind when I gave it to him, and I was just like... It's something that is so, like, it's so minute to us. And we're just like, here you go type of thing. Because, I mean, I'm on, like, 5. I think you're on just about the same.
Yeah.
And it's just like, it's like, here, man, like, thank you, because what, like, this is my job. You paying for my whatever I just did, that I wouldn't expect that, and I don't expect you to do that. So that's going above and beyond. My job isn't me going above and beyond because I signed up for this. I understood everything, in black and white of what would be expected of me.
and I shouldn't expect special treatment.
Exactly.
That's what we're getting at. It's like like, we're not saying that we're not proud or you shouldn't support anybody. It's more like the ones is like anyone in uniform needs it. You got to handle it with grace. And when you see that, that's cool. And I'll tell you one thing, like the occasion people thank me for my service. I'm not talking their ear off about it, but it does mean a lot. Like, I'm not saying don't do that. It means just someone saying thank you for your service. It actually it makes my day.
Yeah, absolutely.
But you should never look for it.
Mm-hmm.
That's the whole point of it. And like, I've actually enjoyed some of these stories. I didn't know how many stories I had or shit that like I think about that other people probably don't fucking know about.
Yeah.
So maybe we'll have to do another one of these in the future, just not on Veterans Day, because I know we're definitely hitting time.
Yeah.
But happy Veterans Day to everybody.
Mm-hmm.
I think we're fortunate enough to live in a country where people appreciate those that deal with some shit, because we do deal with some shit.
Yeah.
Don't get me wrong. But I think that's very awesome. Go get your free bloomin' onion. And glad you're back.
Yeah.
Back to the show. And shout out to all of our military buddies that have actually been supporting the show and that we've been through some shit. And another shout out. I want to say shout out to our new pilot, Andy. He's been listening to the podcast very diligently, talking my ear off about it. So shout out, Andy. Thanks for the sub.
Yeah, thanks, Andy. Andy and I were in a different country together, so it's, that means a lot.
Yeah. But
also thanks for tolerating my child running in here. She's gonna be on a whole nother level after that cupcake, so appreciate that, guys.
yeah, have fun at bedtime, dude.
Yeah.
All right, well, hey, glad to have you back. Follow us on all of our social medias, and we'll see you guys next week.
All right, cool. Peace out, guys.